All right, as you know, nowadays, many politicians like to mention China in different occasions. It's not because they like China, quite the opposite, I think. They are somewhat afraid of China. I mean, they fear the real China, not the China they falsely portray in their propaganda. Before we dive in, shall we talk about the UK first? They've, fought pretty much everyone, but nobody really fears them anymore. But China, just minding its own business, growing fast, and somehow, boom. Everybody's mad. Why? Well, it's simple. When China grows, it messes with other people's profits. So, let's start with a fresh example, AI. You heard about that DeepSeek model, right? Like, wow, it just blew up in days in Wall Street, a total panic mode. Microsoft, down 3.5%. Amazon, oh boy, first hour, bam, minus 2.4%. Oracle dropped 8%, Nvidia, a massive 17% crash. And convert this to dollars, 589 billion in market value, just poof gone, like the biggest one-day market wiped out ever. You think those CEOs, investors, even the regular employees are happy about this? Nope, not one bit. And on the contrary, they both hate and fear it. Yeah, China's putting massive pressure on every single one of them. It's like China gets serious about an industry and suddenly, somebody else is in trouble, and turned back to solar panels. Yeah, China's solar industry is like massive now. Meanwhile, Western solar companies, they're kinda, not doing great. Oh, and drones. Yeah, China's Dajang basically owns the consumer drone market. And the US and Israel? Yeah, their drone makers are not super happy about that. We even tried, banning Dajang just to, give our own companies a fighting chance, and to the end failed. So basically, when China steps into a market, things change fast. And for regular folks, this is great. Lower prices, more choices, all that. But for the people who is running these industries, yeah, not so much. Like, they either got to compete or, just not exist anymore. And here's the thing. When you mess with people's money, oh boy, they do not like you, even hate or somewhat fear you. I mean, nobody wants to work harder if they don't have to, right? And before, a lot of these companies were just kind of, coasting. But now, China is making them actually try, and they hate and fear that. You don't see a lot of people hating or fearing on the UK. I mean, yeah, they used to invade everyone though, but now they're just kind of there, not a threat anymore. So, nobody still cares them. Furthermore, we can't avoid talking about satellite navigation systems. The Chinese showed unbelievable determination when it came to carrying out their national mission. They spent over 26 years on it. With more than 300,000 scientists and engineers involved, they figured out every key technology, from satellite links to high-precision atomic clocks. And finally, with mind-blowing R&D capabilities, all by themselves, they built their own navigation system, Beidou. Now, it's already providing services to over 200 countries and regions around the world. That's pretty much blown up America's global monopoly that GPS used to have. Trying to hold on to our dominant position, we even threatened China, hinting that we could just shoot down their satellites. But their response, guess what? Pretty smart. They developed anti-satellite missiles, and in 2007, they ran a test publicly. They blew up one of their own old weather satellites in orbit. And yep, no doubt, that definitely got our full attention. Suddenly we realized we're no longer the only ones who can take out satellites. That was a big deal, because it meant if we ever tried to disable Beidou, they could retaliate by targeting our GPS satellites too. Faced with that reality, do you really think those big guys at the Pentagon are still sleeping easy without worry and fear? No way. In fact, many nights they're waking up from nightmares. That's why. The opposite thing with China in the past. Back when China was weak, nobody hated China, not even mention fear. Yeah, they bullied China, but no hate. But now China is a competitor. That's why people don't like, even a little bit, fear China. But at the end of the day, does it really matter if some people don't like China? Not really. What matters is strength. As far as I know, the Chinese people don't really care about this. They just want to grow stronger and live a better life. So, you don't have to like China, but it's probably not a good idea to provoke them, because the sleeping dragon has already awakened.